Okay. Okay. So this has been a great week for me because I get to try out different things. And there's one thing that, as you know from my accent, being from Ireland, we come from a storied tradition. Ireland is very much, we didn't actually write down a language until 1850, and that's why we couldn't afford all the alphabet stuff that you guys have. But there's 4 Irish guys in the room, and they have much better accents. And if it's okay with you, Kieran has the best accent for Irish. If you're going to pick accents, he's got the one. If you want to buy an accent, he's got it. It's a really good accent. So what I did was, I wrote an article for the New Yorker. It's called Shouts and Murmurs. I don't know if you know it. I haven't sent it in yet, but I wanted to try it out. If that's okay with you, it's only going to take 4 minutes. But I'm going to ask Kieran. And here's the idea. Kieran, do you want to start coming up here? Here's the synopsis. They find a manuscript off the west coast of Ireland saying that Odyssey was actually not about Odysseus, but about a man called Odysseus, Paddy Odysseus, as in Paddy Obama, as you know, right? And it wasn't Ithaca, it was Inishmore, which is the island here on the left. Now, this is really brave of Kieran, because he does not know what he's going to read. This is really interesting. So with the best, will you just give him a round of applause and to say thank you very much. Let me just explain to you. So this is an oral tradition. The Odyssey was not written down until 300 BC. So in Homer's time, everybody would just speak, and this is what he's going to do. He's going to try and read out this, just see if it'll work. Okay. Some of the words, Maxine gave me permission to use a word here. It sounds like a curse word. It's not. It's actually Irish. He speaks Gaelic, and this is one of the things you do speak Gaelic. Yeah. So there's a little bit of Gaelic in here as well. Okay. So good luck.
Come on, boys. A good start is half the battle.
You can explain it from the top.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Apparently I have to set the scene as well. Scene, a crowd of 600 men are seen pushing 12 boats into the sea off Troy. Come on, boys, a good start is half the battle, shouted Odysseus, the man of twists and turns to his weary men. 10 long years have passed, and the mistress and young snapper will be missing me. He was still very pissed that they did. That's the word, I think. That they had given the wooden horse to the Trojans, as he had really built it as a surprise for his kid. You lads need to be thinking of your loved ones too, you know. And so began the journey that we now call the Odyssey. Ha, big twisty fella. Can we stop here for some quick pillaging? Said a few of the troubled men, only a few miles out from Troy. We promise, no messing, just a quick one, in and out, come on. And so the journey home was waylaid at the very first opportunity. Well, the pillaging led to drinking, the local strong wine, which led to the messing around and sleeping on the beach. At dawn, the local Siconians, could be Corkonians, returned from the hills and set them running from the beach with their tails between their legs. Not a great start to the trip, thought a proud Odysseus, determined to avoid any more distractions. Scene. There's a few of these scenes, by the way. Bad weather forced them off course, and they land on a strange land covered with thistles and bloom. Lads, what have you been eating? Said Odysseus after a few days. You've both sides of the road to yourselves, and you're without mind or memory. For this is how Odysseus spoke, and also how he learned about the powerful narcotic effect of the lotus flowers. Jesus, I might go to fucking Galway. The men showed no interest in continuing the journey or even leaving the field of flowers. Frustrated, he was forced to clobber them and set sail again. Scholars note, the description of the lotus flower is very similar to a nondescript, tasteless, flowering thistle called a shellig shita. That might be the other one. Found in the Aran Islands off the west coast of Ireland. Linguists speculate that this unique flowering plant gave rise to the well-known Irish expressions, "You look like shite." Oh, God, man. And, oh, man, this tastes like shite. I did not write this. Scene. They landed on the island of Sicily, and a few of them stumbled into a cave. This is a real big fella's pad, said one of the men looking at the mess of the large cave. His parents didn't raise him too well. The absent big fella turned out to be one particularly nasty Cyclops, son of Poseidon, nephew of Zeus, and hungry for two of the men. So much for your customary genia, said Odysseus. You are supposed to welcome us and give us hugs and presents, not eat us like wild potatoes. This monster was too big to fight, so Odysseus resorted to his legendary trickery. He poked the monster in his only eye and escaped under some huge sheep. I'm not kidding you. He did. "You can't catch me," shouted Odysseus childishly from his boat as they rowed away hastily. "It is I, Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of a small rocky island, who hath fooled you," he added rather pompously. The Cyclops immediately called out to his dad, and so Odysseus learned the hard way not to mess with the gods or any of their children. I think this is the final scene.
Yeah.
Scene. The winds blew the lonely boat off course again, this time to Aea, the island of Circe, a witch who turned the remaining men into pigs.
True story.
"You look like shite," said Odysseus. "What in heaven's name did she do to you?" But they couldn't answer, as they really were like pigs. "I have a plan," says Odysseus, to no one in particular, which made him smile. "I will offer my body to her for their release." It must have worked, because a year later they were all living together like a big happy family. "We think we should be going home, boss," said a group of the men to Odysseus. "There is such a thing as too much of a good thing," and he agreed.
Just turn over one more. Just a few more lines. That's it. And then the end. That's the end.
Jesus.
Just this switcher.
"I will miss your twists and turns," says Circe, coyly from the bed, even. "But first you must stop by the underworld and ask the guide, Tiresias, for directions home." Odysseus hated asking for directions, but she was insistent, and so they went to hell and back to get clear directions from the bile green sea to Ithaca. "A good start is half the battle," said Odysseus cheerily as they rowed away from Circe. And the men all groaned in unison at his use of the ancient phrase for the 100th time. They were all so wise because the story wasn't even half over. Jesus, God love us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks, Kieran. He might explain. So in Irish we have an expression, too small Latin Hebrew, a good start is half the battle. And our parents tell us that over and over again, isn't it? A good start is half the battle. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Let's get back to some of the serious stuff.